of industry brought on board to pave the path, strengthening industry academic relations. The UWI system ready for a new funding frontier beyond the public treasury into the territory of private equity, inviting investment partners to sustain the academy. Heads of governments meeting in Haiti agreed to reconcile all receivables in an assets for cash exchange. Prime Minister Rowley leading the field with the Couva Hospital deal, government and university owning and revenue sharing, calling Principal Courtlam to craft UWI's largest ever project, an artery from St. Augustine to Couva to Destiny de Bay. Prime Minister Motley, sincerity on show, honored the Barbados debt, injected cash, reviving Cave Hill, connecting Principal Barreto to Bridgetown, there to imagine a smart campus from gown to town. Grenada, granting 88 acres of land, and the Bahamas pledging 20 in Nassau. St. Vincent financing the largest open campus site, launching the mind of Principal Longsworth of the open campus into a new online orbit. But rising and capturing the top, ball beating were the students, creating sporting history on the journey. The combined campuses team, gloriously winning the 2018 Regional Super 50 Cricket Championship, defeating all challenges, claiming the status, best cricket team in the West Indies. And there was more to the tour. Two students, Jason Holder and Carlos Brathwaite, carefully nurtured within UWI, rising to the top, taking the captaincy of West Indies teams in Tests and T20, respectively. With the power of example of student success came the plan to create a UWI-wide faculty of sport, the first of its kind in over 40 years, serving the region in the sport arena, an area of proven proficiency. The visual tapestry of these journeys to the top was captured and packaged for the community, regionally and globally, in a vision whose time had come. UWITV, a jewel in the crown. UWITV, for all to see, a 24/7 education cable channel like no other in the region and beyond, online and on everything, designed and directed by Janet Carew, bolted to the top with familiar Caribbean speed, representing the UWI brand, daily before diverse audiences. The UWI system, 5 campuses, 8 global centers, a 21st century journey driven by development, designed for justice, arriving inexorably at the apex. Captured, crystallized in a 2019 BBC Caribbean report in which the world was told that the region, while facing many serious challenges, can look to the future with optimism, knowing that within it resides a top-ranked, high-class, global university. The University of the West Indies system, locally relevant, globally ranked and agile, an activist academy with a charismatic Caribbean personality, regionally rooted like BAHA. chronic disease, and climate change, the three deadly C's of Caribbean society, confronted, contested by UWI Science. The UWI Science sector, selected to lead climate change advocacy by the International Association of Universities, with a team of top-class scientists, Michael Taylor, David Smith, and John Agard, now preparing to pioneer the creation in the Caribbean of the world's first climate-smart university. The UWI system, a 21st century alignment-ready academy, now prepared to bond in capital markets with the private sector, aligned with top-class companies, companion travelers, Sagicor, NCB, JMMB, Republic Bank, Flow, Grace Kennedy, and a dozen others, focusing on funding top-class teaching and research. The Mona model, the passionate pursuit of revenue. Principal Weber, weaving magic to keep his city bright and well-watered, capturing capital to bring fruit home to his beloved Mona. Professors of practice, a class of honorary icons of industry brought on board to pave the path, strengthening industry academic relations. The UWI system ready for a new funding frontier beyond the public treasury into the territory of private equity, inviting investment partners to sustain the academy. Heads of governments meeting in Haiti agreed to reconcile all receivables in an asset protection exchange. Prime Minister Rowley leading the field with the Couva Hospital deal.
two, 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2.
Testing, testing. Works better when it's turned on.
One, two, 1, 2. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As we begin this evening's ceremony, we kindly ask that you remain seated as we begin to welcome our new graduates. With pride and celebration this evening, we have the newest doctors in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The graduating class of 2025 of the University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine and Research, the Bahamas. We kindly ask that everyone please stand for the singing of the national anthem of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. You may remain standing as we now invite one of our outstanding graduates, Dr. Miguel Bo, to lead us in this evening's invocation.
Good evening. Good evening. Let us bow our heads as we reverence the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Father God, we want to thank you for the greatest gift, which is life. We pray for those who are here with us today and those who are not with us. We know that we wouldn't be here today without you. You've guided us along this long, tedious medical school journey. Although there were challenges along the way, you have walked us through the valley and allowed us to achieve our goal, and for that, we are eternally grateful. However, as we close this chapter, we open a new one. We ask that you continue to guide us and equip us with the wisdom, humility, fortitude, and servitude in this new chapter as physicians. May we fight against temptations and remain grounded as we care for our patients and become leaders of the community and role models for future generations. Thank you for the faculty and staff of UWI and mentors that have embraced us and guided us and paved the way for us. Father God, today marks a pivotal milestone, not only in the lives of the graduates, but also our friends and families that have supported us and our communities that we will humbly serve like your Son, Jesus Christ. We ask that you bless this ceremony of celebration this evening. In your name, we pray. Amen. All right, thank you.
You may be seated. Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Deshawn Saunders, and I'm the Chief of Pediatrics, clinical tutor in the field of pediatrics, and also a pediatric consultant. So it is with great honor and distinction that I welcome you to the oath swearing and award ceremony in recognition of the outstanding accomplishments of the graduates of the class of 2025 of the University of the West Indies, School of Clinical Medicine and Research, the Bahamas. This evening marks a significant milestone in the lives of our newest doctors in the Bahamas. It's a culmination of years of rigorous study, clinical training, and personal growth. We gather not only to celebrate their academic and professional achievements, but also to acknowledge the unwavering support of those who have guided and nurtured them along the way. At this time, I wish to extend special recognition and appreciation to the distinguished guests joining us this evening. The Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, the Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Glennis Hannah Martin, our Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Support, Professor Denzel A. Williams, the Principal of the University of the West Indies, Professor Joseph Plummer, our Dean Designate for the University of the West Indies, Mr. Jonathan Archie, our Deputy Campus Registrar for the University of the West Indies, Dr. Corinne Sinqui Brown, our Present Director for the University of the West Indies, Dr. Abinette Rule, our Managing Director of the Public Hospital Authority, Dr. Sabrika Pinda Butler, our new Director Designate for the University of the West Indies, Commodore Floyd Moxie from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, and we're also honored by the presence of many other dignitaries, including the judicial system, government officials, senior officials from the Public Hospital Authority and the Princess Margaret Hospital, our administration, members of the university leadership, faculty, clinical preceptors, members of the clergy, invited guests, and last but not least, our family and friends of the graduating class of 2025. Your presence underscores the significance of this occasion and reaffirms your steadfast commitment to advancement of healthcare, education, and excellence in the public service. As we commence the ceremony, let us do so with gratitude, pride, and a deep sense of purpose, recognizing the extraordinary efforts of these future medical professionals and the promise that they hold for the future of the healthcare in our region, and not just our region, the world. So please feel welcomed. We will now have greetings by our alumni. As we continue this evening's proceedings, it is now my distinct pleasure to invite Dr. Loxley Monroe. He is one of the leaders within our medical community to bring greetings on behalf of the alumni body. Dr. Loxley Monroe is a distinguished graduate of the University of the West Indies and currently serves as the president of UE Medical Alumni Association of the Bahamas. Could we please welcome Dr. Loxley Monroe? He seems to be running a few minutes late, so we will move on. And we will allow Dr. Gemma Roll, the President of the Medical Association of the Bahamas, to address this evening's assembly. Dr. Roll is a dedicated and a respected leader and a passionate advocate for the advancement of healthcare. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Gemma Roll.
Good evening, everyone. Standing on the protocol already established. Congratulations, future leaders of medicine. Today, as you step into a world brimming with possibilities, remember that you are not just entering a profession. You are becoming part of a powerful force, shaping the health and future of the Bahamas. The Medical Association of the Bahamas stands with you, proud to support your journey and committed to elevating healthcare in our beloved nation. 20 short years ago, as a new graduate on the campus of Howard University College of Medicine in Washington, D.C., I sat exactly where you are now, filled with hope and excitement, eager to begin my journey as a physician. I was proud to have completed the first part of my journey, eager to carve out my role as a specialist in gastroenterology, yet the true fulfillment began when I returned home, joining the Princess Margaret Hospital as a consultant and becoming an active member of our medical association. It was then I realized that my impact could extend far beyond individual patient encounters. I can influence the future of healthcare in the Bahamas and contribute to a healthier nation. The Medical Association of the Bahamas is a statutorily recognized body with members holding esteemed seats on the Bahamas Medical Council, the Nursing Council of the Bahamas, Healthcare and Hospital Facilities Board, and National Health Insurance Board, and other key agencies. We are called upon by the Ministry of Health as a vital stakeholder in planning and shaping current and future health initiatives and public health strategies. Our voice and influence are integral to advancing healthcare for all Bahamians. Today, I want to remind you that it is an extraordinary time to be a physician in the Bahamas. The future is bright, filled with opportunities to make meaningful contributions, shape policies, and uplift our healthcare system. Your legacy begins now. What will it be? How will you leave your mark on this proud nation? This is a moment to prepare yourselves to be leaders in medicine and champions for change. The Medical Association of the Bahamas is not just for seasoned physicians, it is for you, our newest doctors. It is a community where your voice matters, where your dedication can forge a stronger, healthier Bahamas. As I conclude my tenure as the president, I am pleased to share that a new executive council is in progress, just awaiting ratification. The incoming president is Dr. Nikisha Hall-Dennis, who will bring her passion, dedication, and leadership to serve our members and our country. I have passed the baton, confident that the future of the association is in excellent hands, with her and our our enthusiastic group ready to serve. We believe in you, and we are here to support your every step of the way. Welcome to the brotherhood and sisterhood of medicine. The future of Bahamian healthcare is in your hands. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Roll, for your meaning and encouraging words. At this time, we invite a respected academic leader and dedicated educator to present an overview of the academic program and the journey undertaken by this remarkable graduating class. Dr. Corinne Sinqui Brown, Director of the University of the West Indies School of Medicine and Research, the Bahamas, has served with distinction, guiding both faculty and students with unwavering commitment for over 27 years, supplying almost 700 and now 700 plus 21 new doctors, plus 165 specialist doctors over the years. Under her stewardship, the program has continued to uphold the highest standards of medical education, producing graduates who are not only clinically competent, but also compassionate and service-oriented. Please, let's welcome Dr. Corinne Simply Brown.
Good night, everyone. Oh, the room looks fantastic, full of supporters. And I stand on the protocol already established, and I'm here just to give you a little overview. Our affiliation with the University of the West Indies to become a clinical training site for medical students started in 1997. And we are now in our 28th year of operation. We have produced, like Dr. Deshaun Ferguson Saunders just said, 720 new doctors, and almost all are Bahamians. Special efforts were made early to encourage and support the return home of Bahamians for the last 2 years of clinical training for the 5-year program. The government of the Bahamas contributed to the tuition of the majority of these students and increased the amount to 100% for the past 3 years for all returning students here locally. After this, internship is where the journey continues. A total of 40 posts are available annually and shared between NASSAU and Freeport. Very few graduates elect to move overseas or to delay internship for personal reasons. Even after the completion of this novice training period, most physicians remain in the system as senior house officers and go on to enroll in local postgraduate specialist training. Only a handful seek training overseas. Beginning in 2002, the school developed 7 specialist training programs in family medicine, surgery, obstetrics and gynecology, internal medicine, psychiatry, pediatrics, and emergency medicine. As already stated, 165 specialists have been produced, and the majority, over 98%, are still in the Bahamas and working in the public sector. The brain drain that is seen in other countries has not happened here. We have been able, through this program, to ensure a stable pipeline of talent and allow for effective succession planning as seasoned professionals retire. We are planning to add anesthesia and orthopedics, as well as to design a new program to fulfill the post-internship training requirements for the Medical Council of the Bahamas. Government support is also evident through the provision of infrastructure, staffing, and a purpose-built facility located near the hospital. The Memorandum of Understanding between UWI, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and the Public Hospital Authority is currently in its final stages of renewal, which we hope will happen by the end of June. Is that correct, Minister? He says yes. The presence of Professor Denzel Williams, the campus principal of UWI Mona, at this year's event, the second in a row, reaffirms UWI's commitment, both institutionally and regionally, to the continued growth and excellence of this site. This year, our school recorded a 100% pass rate in the 2025 examination for first-time takers. Underscoring the strength of the academic program and the commitment of both faculty and students. This year we are proud to introduce 20 new doctors who have worked very hard to complete this program. The investment in educating these doctors will contribute to our established legacy of providing physicians to fill the healthcare needs of the Bahamas. We are now at a time for transition and handover. I will retire on the 31st of July and hand over the reins to Dr. Sabri Pinder Butler, who completed her entire medical training in the Bahamas with her undergraduate degree in MBBS in 2003 and in the postgraduate DM in family medicine in 2010. She's also the current chief of the Department of Family Medicine and has been the lecturer and coordinator and research supervisor for the family medicine program since 2018. Her leadership extends beyond academia. She's a JP. She's the outgoing president of the Consultant Physician Staff Association and has served on several national boards. With over 20 years of clinical and academic experience, all is well. I am confident that she will lead the school into the next chapter of innovation and growth. Also joining the leadership team is our Mistress of Ceremony, Dr. Deshawn Ferguson Saunders. And she will assume the role as a lecturer of pediatrics following my retirement. She too is a graduate of both the local MBBS and the DM program and made history in 2013 as the first Bahamian to complete the pediatric specialist program. She too is a current chief of service. She's the chief of the pediatric department and has been on the school's faculty since 2013 and a clinical tutor since 2016. She has also served as the deputy medical chief of staff at the PMH between 2021 and 2022. She brings academic strength, clinical excellence, and a commitment to pediatric care that will undoubtedly enhance the department's future. As our school marks these important milestones and transition, it remains focused on our mission to train the next generation of healthcare leaders for the Bahamas, the Caribbean, and beyond. It is indeed mind-boggling that we can deliver the level of performance comparable to the other clinical sites with only a few full-time lecturers, only 3 full-time administrative staff, and an army of clinical tutors and associate lecturers. Thank you, thank you, thank you all for your dedicated and committed service over the years. Support from our partners and corporate sponsors and contribution has also helped, and special acknowledgement is fitting for the PHA, the Medical Association of the Bahamas, the Foreman Foundation, the UWI Alumni Association, and Doctors Hospital. And now, to the newest doctors in the Bahamas. I am extremely proud of you. And I must congratulate you on your outstanding performance, with one student achieving a distinction mark, putting her in the top 2% of 340 students throughout the entire region who sat the examination. She had the 4th highest grade. other students also from this class achieved honors performance. I know that each of you have a different story to tell of your journey. It was not easy. The sleepless nights were daunting, studying and trying to remember the quantum of information to manage patients and preparing for the next day sessions. But you learned early the importance of making the right decision could be the difference of life and death for the patient. Just to go back a little bit in history, I recall in my own lifetime, black and white television with rabbit ears antenna, rotary dial phones, postmen delivering the mail, physical books, library searches that took weeks, manual cameras with rolls of film to develop, and typewriters. Can any of you imagine life now without a microwave, cell phones, computers, and digital cameras? And ChatGPT. Time has certainly changed, and information is more readily available at the click of a button, and technology is advancing by the second. Google Doc is your patient's go-to for a second opinion, and often the patient is well researched before presenting to you. Your foundation must be good and solid to allow you to figure out the right diagnosis and management. Although AI has emerged as a useful tool and shown in some cases to make the right decisions equal to humans, it requires the input of correct information first. That is where you come in. It is people like you who give accuracy and context to that input. That's the human edge no machine can replicate. So far, AI has not been geared to examine patients, but it can do images, it can look at skin lesions, it can look at pathology slides, it can look at radiology images and come up with the right diagnosis. So the possibilities to advance this is evolving. The art of listening to a patient, reading between the lines of what's said and unsaid, and weaving together our diagnosis from fragments of story and symptoms that's not something easily downloaded or automated. AI can assist for sure, but it can't replace intuition born from experience, nor can it show empathy. I encourage you to embrace the new tools to augment what you do. Each of you have a gift bag, and it contains 2 special items that I hope you will treasure. One is a book written by our guest speaker, Dr. Christine Parker Curlin, Beyond the Knowledge. And I think it will be a good eye-opener to prepare you for the ethical and personal challenges you will encounter. The other gift is a pulse oximeter donated in memory of a patient with sickle cell disease who died from acute chest syndrome. Aim to be compassionate, respectful, dedicated, and committed to make a change. Remember to pay forward and offer a helping hand to someone in honor of the help someone else gave you in the past. Congratulations and welcome to the medical fraternity.
Thank you to Dr. Cinqui Brown for her years of dedicated service and the legacy that she leaves behind. She's left big shoes to fill, but I'm sure we will continue to make our university and our nation proud as we continue on. We will now invite the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Band with a special music interlude. I think we can do better than that. Please give it up. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force Band for their excellent performance. We now have come to a distinguished moment in our ceremony. We will now have official remarks by two of our nation's most esteemed public servants, whose leadership continues to shape both the education and healthcare landscapes of the Bahamas. First, we are honored to invite the Honorable Glenys Hanna Martin, the Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, to deliver her remarks. Please welcome her.
Good evening, everyone. I will adopt the protocol, and I want to confess that the Ministry of Education gave me a very lengthy and detailed speech, which I'm sure everyone wants to sit here and listen to. But I'm going to have to disappoint you And I just decided I would have a little different approach and to just say to this group of fine young Bahamians that this nation has produced. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. And to congratulate each and every one of you because I know what it took to get you here tonight. The hard work, the sacrifice, the pressures, stress. And what we are celebrating tonight is the accomplishment, the championship of all that you gave to get you here this evening. So congratulations to each of you. Now, Dr. Minnis, I happened to have known I watched her grow up. And I'm so really impressed to learn in the top 2%, really proud of her. And she has some roots in Angliston, and so I have a, okay, all right. Any more Angliston over there? Well, we got another one, we got two. But in all seriousness, we are very proud of you. And as you know, the Bahamas, in its statistics, has a lot of health challenges. And we're hoping that as we build capacity in medicine, that we are going to be able to take the Bahamas out of this realm that we have been designated in so many areas, and that we will begin to be distinguished by a nation of great health and prosperity. And so I hope that as you go into your careers, you continue to be critical thinkers, you continue to push the envelope, that you'll be innovative, and that you will help to move this nation to where we would wish to see it. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to the parents, and all of the who supported these young people. I hope when I have my rallies, they're like this. And I'm looking forward to listening to Dr. Christy Curling, who I also watch grow up and who's a brilliant young physician. I look forward. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We will now invite the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, the Minister of Health and Wellness, whose leadership continues to strengthen our healthcare infrastructure and promote wellness throughout the nation. So please welcome Dr. Darville.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ferguson. Give it up for the 21 graduates. We are proud of you. I'm excited for you. Stand up. Stand up and give us a bow. Yes. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I too am standing on the established protocol, but also would like to recognize my parliamentary colleague and cabinet minister, Glenys Anna Martin, Dr. Sincree, who I think has done an excellent job, and I think we should give her a round of applause for where she has taken the university. And lastly, our team from Mona campus, Dr. Williams and Dr. Plummer, and the entire Mona team who has been guiding our program at this particular time. But this evening, I consider it a privilege to be here at the beautiful BAHAMAS Resort and to be a part of this exercise where 21 bright, hard-working physicians will soon enter the healthcare system at the Princess Margaret Hospital. And I think maybe a few may be going to the Rand Memorial Hospital. That's good news. Because the Bahamas is an archipelagic nation, it ain't only Nassau-centric. Some of you all from the islands. Listen here. I want to be honest tonight. When I became Minister of Health, I came in at a time where COVID was ramping throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Just came off the deathbed, myself suffering from the Delta variant and spent a large time in the hospital. And that was the first time I was a real patient. I've had other medical illnesses, but this particular time, I was at the mercy of the healthcare system. And for anyone who had COVID-19 in the midst of the Delta variant, realized that healthcare and healthcare professionals took care of you in a spacesuit. And some of the doctors who took care of me, I didn't see their faces. I was weak. I lost about 30 pounds. I couldn't breathe. There was a question of whether or not I would be incubated. And the list goes on and on. But I was fortunate enough to have a few doctors who had great compassion and love for their patients. That's something that we need to look at deeper in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, because I'm in a public health care system where I hear positive and negative information coming to me from individuals who interface the public health care system, who we as doctors are privileged to serve. Graduates, healthcare is a serious profession that requires compassion, love, dedication for the people that you are privileged to serve. The reason why I'm saying that is we have to make sure we maintain a culture in our healthcare system, both private and public, where our focus on the patient is 100%, leaving out our personal whatever, and give that patient everything the patient deserves. Now, I'm a physician. I've been around for a while. I made a commitment that if the Lord ever blessed me to be a physician, I will treat every patient in front of me as if it was my mother. I have never changed that position. I've never changed that position. And the day when I cannot live up to that expectation, I will begin to question my purpose and my true dedication to the profession. But I want to speak a couple of things to you. Number one, take good care of yourself. I want to say that again. Take good care of yourself. Practice what you preach. A lot of us in healthcare take care of people and neglect ourselves. Do not neglect yourself. Eat properly. Do physical activity. monitor the possibility of chronic non-communicable diseases, and take care of yourself. The second thing I want to speak about is the need to focus in the public health care system on finding avenues for our MBB graduates to have greater opportunities for specialty care. And that's why when you came to the podium, Dr. Sinqui, and spoke about the new program in anesthesiology and orthopedics from the postgraduate department of the University of West Indies Mona campus, it is well received. When I had the opportunity to speak to President Williams about our new MOU, we spoke about the expansion of postgraduate programs to give our MBBS graduates more opportunities to become specialists. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is dedicated towards that, and very soon I will be speaking about other programs that we are developing for postgraduate training outside of the programs that exist at the University of the West Indies. The Princess Margaret Hospital, the Rand Memorial Hospital, and the Sandals Rehabilitation Center, they are deficiencies and they are gaps. And we need to move swiftly to fill these gaps so that our patients in the country will have access to specialty service. Colleagues, I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize Dr. Sinqui Brown. I remember when Sinqui took this position, and she came to me as minister to outline what some of her goals and objectives would be. I believe I supported her to the best of my ability to try to achieve many of the goals and objectives. And I'm just as committed to the program to you, Dr. Sinqui, to Dr. Pinda Butler, who will be taking the position herself. Your career, Dr. Sinqui, is very remarkable in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Your leadership and your dedication and hard work to the pediatric department of the Princess Margaret Hospital will go down in history, and the many patients that you have assisted through difficult illnesses is recognized not only to those who receive the services, but many of us who've been watching your performance over the years. Give it up for Dr. Sinqui. You have passed the baton on to Dr. Pinda Butler. Dr. Pinda Butler has been affiliated with the program for many years. I remember speaking directly to Dr. Robin Roberts and her commitment, and it is a pleasure to see that you are in the seat now and will make your contribution. And I look forward to sitting with you for you to articulate your plan to see how the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas could assist you in achieving your goals and objectives. The medical program at the University of the West Indies is very important to the growth and development of healthcare services in the Bahamas. That is why Glennis Hannah Martin and myself, who sit around the cabinet table, spoke specifically on how we can ensure that this program not only survive, but thrive. Initially, the program was set up at the University of the West Indies Mona campus, and then came Trinidad, then came Barbados, and I think there's one other campus that's on the way. Yes. And so we have more Bahamians in the program. And so every graduate from the University of the West Indies MBBS program receive a full ride from the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and the government of the Bahamas by way of taxpayers' money for year 4 and 5, the most expensive part of the medical training. Every student who graduate or who reach year 4 and 5 is fully covered, except for those who don't want the coverage in the program. That's how serious we are about medical training. On top of that, we have a medical subvention program for those with academic excellence to have scholarships from year 1 to year 3, and that's inclusive of physicians, dentistry, allied healthcare, to ensure that the Bahamas always have a stream of individuals who are constantly being trained. To our faculty and staff of the University of the West Indies here in the Bahamas, stay the course. You are training not just physicians, but future leaders in the healthcare sector. And I believe some of our speakers before me spoke about leadership in medicine. Leaders who would one day sit in positions to create policies, to manage our hospitals, to perform life-saving interventions across the country at the tertiary, secondary, and primary healthcare level. To our graduates, the future of health in the Bahamas rests in part in your hands. We will have the opportunity to see you on the ward. We'll have an opportunity to assess your commitment, an opportunity to ensure that you're focused on what you're doing, and an opportunity to continue to impart into your lives and careers. Wear your white coats with purpose. Treat every patient with dignity, not as a file, but always as a person. Uphold and advance the highest standards of care and safeguard to our public health care system. And finally, before I take my seat, we celebrate you. We love you. We care about you. We have invested in you. We are proud of your accomplishments. And I personally wish you all the success in your career. Remember, hard work pays off. And hard work never kills nobody. That's what my mother told me. Remember, your dedication, your love is the foundation of your career and your achievements. These people stick it together. I congratulate you once again. I congratulate the leadership of the University of the West Indies that I am proud to be an alumni. May your careers reflect the highest standard of professionalism and make you continue to raise the standard of medical excellence throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and by extension, the region. Thank you. God bless you. I wish all the best in your careers. God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Thank you, Minister Darville, and we look forward to the government's continued financial support for the university so that we can continue to raise doctors like these. So thank you once again. We will now have the introduction of the person introducing our keynote speaker. So to introduce this evening's keynote speaker, we will now call upon a respected member of the academic and medical community. Dr. Devon Curling is a noted hematologist oncologist at the Princess Margaret Hospital, an associate lecturer with the University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine Research, the Bahamas, and also the chief of hematology and oncology at the Princess Margaret. He is also the husband of our keynote speaker. So please welcome Dr. Curling, who will introduce Dr. Christine Curling, our keynote speaker.
Good evening, all. Protocol having already been established, I will proceed. What a privilege it is tonight. I've got to admit I've been given the mammoth task of introducing someone who's accomplished enough to make the rest of us think we've been misusing our free time. Our keynote speaker is a true daughter of the soil. She's a proud Bahamian and a product of Exuma and Abaconian roots. So join me as I go through a decades, and for you guys, I want you to hear that decades-long educational journey that spanned 4 countries and many, many hospitals. Dr. Parker Curling is a proud graduate of Queens College of the Bahamas. After completing that, she went on to COB. It wasn't UB yet. There you go. After completing her degree at UB, she then went on to Canada at McMaster University, where she earned a double major in biology and psychology with a summa cum laude. After completion of that, her next phase of her journey occurred in Jamaica, where she went to UWI at the University of the West Indies School of Medicine. After completing her years of theory there, she then returned back home to the Bahamas and graduated in 2007, where she was the most outstanding student of the class. After this, she then pursued further studies in the US, doing her internal medicine at SUNY Downstate. Yes. And then fellowship training at South Carolina, where she established triple board certification in internal medicine, endocrinology, and obesity. To let you understand that she always continues her excellence, after completing her training there, she was invited to be a member of the Internal Medicine, Endocrinology, Diabetes, and Metabolism Maintenance of Certification Standards. This continued when she returned home, and as many of you know, began to run an MCQ prep course for the students. I'll apologize to you guys. There are a couple of times when you heard her pause, that was me interrupting. But she continued. Her joy and passion for teaching is always there. She's also a proud member of the Cancer Society's Healthy Lifestyles team. So somehow, in between all of this, and I don't know where she found the time, I was there and I don't know how she did it, but she found a way to write her gift to you guys tonight, which is her #1 best-selling book. And I hope that you guys get the chance to read it and really take heed to it. But beyond all of these academic honors and professional titles, she is a fiercely devoted daughter. She is an incredible sister. She is an amazing mother to our 2 children, a tireless party planner. I can tell you I'm still a little tired because yesterday was our daughter's science fair birthday, which she did a phenomenal job on. And in addition to that, she still finds time for the arts. She's a member of the Bel Canto Singers. So most of all, and most importantly for me, she's my support, and she's an amazing wife. So I stand here doing my duties tonight as first man, and it's a pleasure to do so. If her father were here tonight, I have no doubt that his chest would be swollen with pride. And instead, this job is now falling to me to introduce to you our keynote speaker tonight, an amazing mother, an amazing daughter, an amazing wife, Dr. Christine Parker Curling.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for such a warm welcome, and thank you for being such a fantastic and engaging audience. I'm looking forward to you continuing that trend tonight. So while I stand on protocol, which has already been established, please accept my humble and warm welcome as we celebrate our newly minted doctors this evening. I do appreciate that this is no small honor to be standing before you this evening, to be invited to this place that shaped me so deeply, to deliver this commencement address to the graduating class of the University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine and Research, Bahamas. So to the class of 2025, let me start by saying congratulations again. This is a moment you've imagined for many years. Perhaps you saw it during a quiet night studying while everyone else was out living their best lives. Or maybe during one of those long ward rounds where you thought to yourself, wow, I really need to sit down. Today, it's real. You're here. Thank God you did it. Now, as we all know firsthand, this journey, as the saying goes, is not for the faint of heart. It truly does take a village to support us as we venture along this vigorous and demanding path toward carrying the responsibility of and bearing the title of doctor. Many have journeyed with us. Many have journeyed with us, and to them we are forever indebted, and we remain eternally grateful. We thank you, our family and friends, for your support and sacrifice. The long hours, awkward silences on road rounds when you forgot what cranial nerve 5 does, and the moments you prayed, literally begged God to not let them see you, much less ask you a question. You know, I'm going to interject. It's not written, but I prayed that prayer so many times. But standing at 6 feet tall with a 7-inch afro, God he never hit me. So, you know, you guys had to juggle it all: knowledge building, clinical skills, personal survival. And you've done this while trying to be a functioning human with responsibilities, relationships, and a tiny modicum of a social life. That, my newly minted colleagues, is no small accomplishment. So today, take a moment. Actually, right now, go ahead, take a breath. You have my permission. Close your eyes, if you will. Reflect on what it took to get you here. Feel it. Own it. Let it rest on your chest like a gentle light. This moment you will never experience again. And now, welcome to the other side. Let me tell you what happens here. You, my friends, are about to work even harder. So I vividly remember the story of an intern waking up at about 4 a.m. to the gentle caress of a hand rubbing his head. It was the hand of the patient. An elderly lady whose history he was taking. And after he had fallen asleep, right there, head back, mid-sentence, she decided to allow him to continue his nap. And when she thought he had had just enough sleep on the chair next to her bed, she gently awakened him to allow him to finish his history taking and get on with rounds before morning. Her words to him were, "Oh my, they working you hard, eh, baby? It could be all right." True story. So you will all have your own version of this story. Maybe not with the head rub, but certainly with the exhaustion. And you will discover that your patients are most often your greatest teachers. That's the beautiful paradox of medicine. As much as you give, you receive. As much as you teach, you learn. And when you think you've seen it all, life will humble you again and again and again. As rapidly advancing technology, artificial intelligence, emerging discoveries, and research continue to impact the way we learn and practice medicine, please do not forget your human touch. Just take a moment and look at the graduates. Audience, look at the graduates. Graduates, give them a hail. They are here for you. They are here for you. Here we all are as they are positioned to be launched. Look at them, our future cardiologists, surgeons, pediatricians, internists, professors, and so much more. You are the policymakers, poets, mothers, fathers, researchers, writers, ministers of government. You are all of those things. You will excel on a global stage. Whatever you become, let it be purposeful. Let it be authentic. Let it be yours. You have passed through the halls of the University of the West Indies, one of the greatest institutions of higher learning in the world. One which has prepared those before you for national, regional, and global excellence. You stand on the shoulders of great men and women and you have been uniquely positioned to continue to blaze the trail upon which you now walk. Do not let fear, a limiting mindset, or other people's words to you shrink your vision. If you do not see a seat at the table, you bring a seat or you stand there. If you see a glass ceiling, smash it and leave the door open behind you for someone else. You were not designed to fit into somebody else's mold. You were created to do something only the way that you can do it. There's nobody else who can do what you are about to do the way you can do it. So reflect on the things that bring you joy. Reflect on the things that you would do if nobody paid you to do. Reflect on the things that make hours pass by like seconds for you. And reflect on the things that you were passionate about as a child. Because chances are therein lies your superpower. Identify that thing, sharpen it, work it, let it shine. And remember the words of Proverbs 18 and 16. A person's gift makes room for them and brings them before great men. Trust your gifts, trust your path, and above all, trust the God who gave them to you. Before I close, I'd like to share with you, as you know, a copy of a book that I just wrote, and I want you to remember some of the main tenets of that book, which have been touched on today, to remember that as you press on into your career, be compassionate to your patients. Be compassionate to yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of your spiritual health, your mental health, your financial health, and take care of each other. It's okay to look out for each other. Lead fearlessly and with compassion. Class of 2025, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You have earned this title. Now go forward, empowered, energized, and unapologetically excellent. Congratulations, my friends. Go forth and be great. Thank you.
Let's give Dr. Parker Curling another hand. She said something very important. Your gift will always make room for you. And so to our graduates, know what your gift is and know that it surely will come to pass. Congratulations again. As we move on in the program, we will now have the principal's address. Once that is completed, we will now have our special award presentations. And then the moment all of us are waiting for, the robing of our graduates. So we are pleased to invite Professor Denzel Williams, the principal of the University of the West Indies, to deliver the principal's address. Professor Williams' visionary leadership continues to guide the university towards excellence in teaching, research, and service. Once Professor Williams is completed, we will ask the band to give a selection as we prepare for our presentations and induction of our new doctors. So thank you, Professor Williams.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Class of 2025, you did it. Give yourself a big round of applause. So I came to the podium quite early because I recognize I stand between Class of 2025 coming on the stage and you getting your awards and having these speeches. So it says the principal's address, but I will make my address be a greeting. And so let me stand on the protocols that have been observed earlier, but let me recognize both ministers of government and our distinguished ladies and gentlemen who have gathered here to pay their respects to the class of 2025. This evening, I would like to say I join in the celebration of this very wonderful group of graduates from our distinguished university who have actually made the commitment. You are indeed the real COVID doctors, because I was just remarking to our registrar that this group would have in the main came in 2020, and you would have recognized that your future was not sure. You have created your own future, and for that we are very proud of you. But let me, as we celebrate you, I want to especially recognize our outgoing head of the school, Dr. Sinkwi, for her outstanding leadership of this institution. It is not very often that you get people of the caliber of Karen who actually make this kind of dedicated commitment to an institution for almost 3 decades. And that we should be proud of. Thank you very much. But while we celebrate and thank you very much for your work, we want to also welcome Dr. Butler, Pinter Butler, and for you to know that you are indeed in a good place because you have a foundation on which to build. And we want to thank you as well for taking on the challenge. Similarly, you would appreciate that I should thank our dean, our very distinguished Dean of Medical Sciences, Professor Minerva Thame, who was very closely involved with the work of the school over the last 5 years. And for that, we're truly proud. And all of you would have interacted with Professor Thame, and for that, we want to celebrate her and thank her for her work as well. And while we do that, we want to welcome, and Professor Plummer, I will ask you to stand, the incoming Dean of the Faculty of Medical Sciences, a young visionary leader, Professor Plummer, who is a professor of surgery, and he will be taking over the leadership of the faculty in the next 6 weeks or so. So we want to thank him as well for agreeing to take on that role. Leadership in these days and times are not easy, and for people to actually offer themselves, they must be congratulated for that, and we look forward to you joining. But today, I want to especially give a really big shout out to our class of 2025. Because as the speaker said, I think Minister also mentioned it, you are now moving into a new realm. You're now moving into a realm where you're going to give service to country and service to the region. And in giving service to country and service to region, there are certain fine qualities that you have to embody as a UWI graduate. And one of them that stands out most significantly is the quality of caringness. As members of the medical profession, you have to display compassion. You have to display empathy. You have to display a sense of responsibility and caringness towards your patients. But importantly, and this is where I completely support the minister's call, self-care is also important. Because if you don't take care of yourselves, it makes no sense that you will be around to take care of anybody else. So we want to encourage you as good Pelicans, as you go out to provide service to the region, service to country, make sure that you recall the fine qualities that you have learned at our UWI. And indeed, this is the finest university anywhere in the world, and especially for medical sciences. We have 75, 76 years of history as it relates to offering medical education. And it's no wonder why each time we go up for accreditation, we get the full length of the accreditation for our medical faculty. Why? Because we have some of the finest professors that are overseeing that program as we speak as a university. And that is the tradition to which you have to uphold as we go forward. It is not my mistake, therefore, while the UWI, the Faculty of Medical Sciences, and the entire UWI system is ranked in the top 2% of the best universities worldwide. So you are indeed pedigree. You are indeed pedigree because you are coming from an institution that has the highest standard of academic excellence, and that you should cherish. And so we are thankful that you chose our university as the place of choice to carry out your own professional development. We want you to carry the flags high. We want you to continue to represent your UWI well as you become great Pelicans for the future. Today, we congratulate you again, class of 2025, and we say, well done, go forward, and fly the Pelican flags high. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Professor Williams. So we will now prepare for our special awards and presentations, and so we will now have a selection by the band. band, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Band. We will now proceed to the presentation of our special awards in recognition of exceptional academic performance and leadership. We have a special award that's not listed in our program today, and I'd like Mr. Stephen Joseph, if he can come to the stage. This award is presented for the Humanitarian and Civic Engagement Award. The Medical Protection Society has chosen one of our students for outstanding leadership in community involvement, outreach, and service for the class of 2025. So without further ado, this award is presented to Dr. Kashe Hannah. Let's give her a hand as she comes up. Hi. Congratulations. Our second award is the Dr. Anthony Regis Award. So Dr. Anthony Regis Award is presented to honor a man whose legacy continues to resonate within the halls of this institution and in the hearts of all who knew him. Dr. Regis was a Trinidadian-born anesthesiologist and beloved academic leader. Dr. Regis joined the university in 1998 and served with distinction as the acting director of the University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine and Research under Professor Howard Spencer from 1997 to 2007. His decade of leadership was marked by unwavering dedication to academic excellence, institutional growth, and above all, student success. But beyond his title and accomplishments, Dr. Regis was known and cherished for his gentle spirit, his approachable nature, and his unshakable commitment to the well-being of students. He was not just a lecturer or an administrator. He was a fierce advocate, a champion for future doctors, and a mentor who fought tirelessly for the rights, the recognition, and support of upcoming medical professionals. He believed in the potential of every student. He listened, he encouraged, and he led by example with humility, kindness, and wisdom. His legacy is one of compassion, advocacy, and the belief that great doctors are not only skilled, but also deeply human. So the Dr. Anthony Regis Award is presented to the most outstanding student this year for the MBBS final examination in recognition of her superior academic achievement, clinical excellence, and the values that Dr. Regis so deeply embodied. So it is with pride and great respect that we present this year's Dr. Anthony Regis Award to none other than Dr. Anika Minnis. All right. Let's give her a hand again. Our next prestigious award is named in honor of a true pioneer in Bahamian medicine. Dr. Cecil M. Bethel was the first Bahamian graduate of the University of the West Indies class of 1957. Dr. Bethel was a giant in the health field, dedicating over 30 years of exemplary service as an internist at the Princess Margaret Hospital. His contributions to the growth and development of the medical professional in the Bahamas are legendary. He was a respected member of the Joint Committee of the Bahamas Medical Council and the Medical Association of the Bahamas, and also served on the committee that reviewed and drafted the Medical Act, shaping the ethical and professional framework for generations of physicians. Dr. Battle looked at the highest standards of medical practice and ethical conduct. He was soft-spoken but unwavering in principle. He lived the values of compassion, professionalism, and also humility. As a consummate gentleman, he earned the trust and admiration of patients and colleagues alike. His life and work remain a lasting source of inspiration to all who strive to serve others through medicine. This award bearing his name is presented once again to the most outstanding student of the graduating class of 2025, a student who has demonstrated academic excellence, clinical competence, professional integrity, and a spirit of service, reflective of Dr. Bethel's enduring legacy. So it is with great pride that we present the Dr. Cecil M. Bethel Award to Dr. Anika Minnis. And we ask Dr. Sabrika Pinda Butler to give this award. Please join us in congratulating Dr. Minnis on this well-deserved honor. Congratulations again, Dr. Minnis. So now the moment we've all been waiting for. I see lots of placards, I see lots of shirts, I heard cowbells and all. So I think it's time for celebration. So without further ado, we are now going to start the induction of our newest doctors in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm sure for everybody this is a moment filled with pride, reverence, and historical significance. Tonight, we will bear witness to a sacred rite of passage as we have the formal induction of the newest doctors in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. These men and women, through years of rigorous training, many late nights, clinical immersion, and personal sacrifice, have earned the privilege to be called doctors. So beyond academic achievement, they have embraced the values of compassion, service, integrity, and resilience. So please be reminded, please stay in your seats to take pictures so that you do not interfere with our professional photographer. And so we will now have Dr. Christine Chin, Lecturer of Medicine, and Dr. Varunda Sarkar, Lecturer for Obstetrics and Gynecology, to perform the induction ceremony. Let's welcome them.
Good night, everybody. Good night. Good evening. Can we hold down the chairs for a second? Tonight, as we gown each new doctor, we are honored to celebrate not only your achievements, but the bright futures you're about to create. Can we call Dr. James Johnson to gown our newest doctor in the Bahamas, Dr. Brittany Bonaming. Woo!
Hello. I now call upon our MAB President, Dr. Gemma Roll, to Grove, Dr. Miguel Bow. Congratulations, Miguel. Miguel Bow. Miguel Bow. Dr. Miguel Bow.
This way. This way. This way. Let's call Dr. Shani Knowles, consultant surgeon from PMH, to gown the newest doctor in the Bahamas, Dr. Wellington Bullard. Woo!
I now call upon Dr. Afia Alexander to robe Dr. Gabriel Edwards. Dr. Gabriel Edwards.
Dr. Monica Padua will be gowning our newest addition to our medical community, Dr. Gabrielle Evans.
I now call upon Dr. Taj Dawson to robe Dr. Sharnet Evans. Dr. Shantara Evans, please.
Hello. Let's invite Dr. Winston Forbes from Grand Bahama, consultant cardiologist from the Rand Memorial Hospital in Grand Bahama, to gown his niece, Dr. Kamisha Forbes. Dr. Kamisha Forbes is a graduate from the St. Augustine campus.
I now call upon Dr. Wynan Davis to robe Dr. Mewanda Green. Dr. Mewanda Green, please.
Thank you. Can we ask Dr. Tamika Johnson-Dames to come up to the stage? With great pride, I want to introduce to you a remarkable new physician, Dr. Kashay Hanna. Woo! Congratulations.
I now call upon our cardiovascular surgeon, Dr. Dalton Ferguson, to robe Dr. Brian Higgs. Dr. Brian Higgs, please.
Dr. Madeline Joseph, our A&E doctor at PMH. Can you join us, please, on the stage? I am pleased to announce the newest member of our medical profession, Dr. Marissa Jean. Woo!
I will call upon on stage Dr. Amanda Raming O'Neill to robe Dr. Christian Mather. Can we welcome Dr. Shirkan Garikapathy, our lecturer in medicine, and he's a consultant plastic surgeon at Princess Margaret Hospital. We want to have him robe Dr. Anika Minis, our star student. Congratulations, Dr. Minis.
I now call upon Dr. Rolanda Ingram to robe Dr. Ambernick Monroe. Dr. Ambernick Monroe.
Let's welcome Dr. Harold Munnings to the stage, consultant gastroenterologist, who's going to be robing Dr. Winnet Munnings. They are of no relation, but he's a great mentor to her. Congratulations, Dr. Munnings.
I call upon Dr. Joel Lightbone to robe Dr. Antonio Penderman.
Go over a little bit. Let's invite Dr. Leon Depute, our esteemed colleague in obstetrics and gynecology. With great pride, I introduce to you a remarkable new physician, Dr. Bianca Roll.
I call upon on stage Dr. Krista Nottage, consultant surgeon, to robe Dr. Ria Roll. Dr. Ria Roll.
Let's call Dr. James E. Ferrenter to the stage. He's a consultant emergency medicine doctor from Doctors Hospital. He will be robing Dr. Ramon Russell. Congratulations, Dr. Russell.
I invite on stage Dr. Carlton Chimber, consultant orthopedic surgeon, to robe Dr. Daniel Seymour. Dr. Daniel Seymour, please.
Let's give a warm round of applause to an outstanding new doctor, Dr. Celeste Stewart, who will be robed by Dr. Kevin Moss, consultant pulmonologist. Welcome. Come on board, Dr. Stewart, Dr. Celeste Stewart. Congratulations to all our graduates and all the newest doctors in the Bahamas. Congrats.
Congratulations to class of 2025. Welcome to the fraternity. All right, can we give a big rounding of applause to our newest doctors? Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You can have a seat. Okay, so we'll now move on. All right, celebration, celebration. So we'll now move on, and we'll have Dr. Anika Minnis come up as we now do the physician's oath. This oath is a solemn pledge for our new doctors to uphold the highest ethical standards, to place the welfare of their patients above all else, and to serve with honor, humility, and humanity. This is more than just a tradition. This is a covenant that they're now making between the doctor and patient, science and service, with knowledge and compassion. And so it's with immense pride that we welcome Dr. Anika Minnis, who will lead the graduating class of 2025 as they rise to prepare to take their oath and be formally inducted into the noble profession of medicine. So let's give them a hand as they take their oath.
Hippocratic Oath, the oath. I gratefully acknowledge the distinction to be conferred upon me, and I solemnly promise that this is a gratitude in medicine. I will abide steadfast in all due loyalty to the ethics of my profession and endeavor always to promote the welfare and maintain the reputation of the University of the West Indies. Further, in the exercise of my profession, I will ever have in my mind the care of the sick and the well-being of the healthy. To this end, I will use all my knowledge and judgment. I will keep silent on any matter which I may not see or hear in the course of my profession, work, and which would be improper to divulge. I will not permit consideration of religion, nationality, race, party politics, or social standing to influence my duty to my patient.
So she'll now give a response on behalf of the graduating class of 2025
So let's give her a hand as she presents. Congratulations.
Protocol having already been established, good evening. I stand before you this evening as a proud representative of the class of 2025, and I am honored to speak on behalf of my colleagues on this auspicious occasion. For so long, we thought that this day was beyond our reach, but through the grace of God, along with hard work, dedication, and determination, we made it. We have crossed the finish line. As this chapter in our lives come to a close, I fondly reflect on the memories and moments that stood out along our journey. Our paths to medicine were all unique. Some of us pursued first degrees, some started straight out of high school, and others worked in entirely different fields. Amongst us, we have a mortician, a youth ambassador, and an EMT, just to name a few. Our atypical medical school journey began in 2020. At the time, a novel virus had emerged that took the world and medical field by storm. COVID-19. It was a time of uncertainty, social distancing, and paranoia due to the unknown. During that period, we sanitized everything: groceries, our homes, daily, sometimes even multiple times a day. And if someone dared to cough, nearby eyes pierced right through them. The world had been turned on its head. With the rise of COVID-19 came a new era of online learning. We were suddenly forced to adapt to virtual platforms like Blackboard, Collaborate, and Zoom. We remember those online classes all too well. For some of which we fell asleep in, the others plagued with connectivity issues, and of course, the ones where you had the shock of your life when out of 150 students, the lecturer somehow landed on your name to answer a question. We adapted to a new normal, and for nearly 2 years, we endured. I remember our pre-clinical years as if it were yesterday. Across all 3 campuses, there were a few infamous courses known for taking medical students out. Trigger warning. Fundamentals of Disease and Treatment, aka FDT, Molecular Medicine, and last but certainly not least, the most notorious of them all, Clinical Hematology. I'm sure that while we were taking the exam for these courses, everyone was in the spirit, interceding, asking the Almighty God to bring us through. Given that we are all here today, God surely does answer prayer. Pre-clinical years flew by, and before we knew it, we were in 3rd year. By then, COVID had settled, and we were finally allowed onto the wards just in time for clinicals. At last, we could put faces to the names of those we had worked with on various group projects, the ones who sent funny videos and stickers in the chats, and those students who for some reason always knew the answer to every single question. We were also finally able to travel to the Mona, Cave Hill, and St. Augustine campuses and take part in the activities we had so longed to experience. For example, homecoming, Mr. and Mrs. Medside, Juve, and countless other fats and limes, just to name a few. These events became the catalyst for building the lasting network of friends and colleagues we now have across the Caribbean. For some of us, our clinical years began with oral health and an introduction to medical practice, a time when we were taught history-taking, clinical examination techniques, and placed on different teams before our core rotations officially began. We were all bubbling with excitement. Finally, we were going to start putting theory into practice. Junior clerkships began shortly after, and we would soon come to realize that maybe we shouldn't have dozed off in 1 or 2 of those classes. During these clerkships, we were introduced to ward rounds that lasted for hours on end, being questioned on the spot and forced to retrieve deeply buried knowledge within a span of 10 seconds. At UWI, I don't know was never an acceptable answer. The UE approved response was, Doc, I would have read up on, I think I knew it, I vaguely remember, but I'll do further reading to refresh and expand my understanding of the topic. I remember my first junior clerkship, junior medicine, as if it were yesterday. I was placed on Dr. Gilbert's neurology team at the University Hospital of the West Indies. For 4 weeks, my team members and I were at the hospital at the crack of dawn, rushing to get to the ward to see the patients before Dr. Gilbert, who would usually arrive at 7 a.m. every day. Although we had no more than 4 or 5 patients at any given time, rounds would last for at least 3 hours each day. He would frequently remind us to eat breakfast, as he didn't want any medical students fainting and having to be carried out during ward rounds. During that time, we were exposed to a number of conditions: myasthenia gravis, stroke, multiple sclerosis, just to name a few. If you presented on his rounds, you had to know exactly what you were talking about, because when the questions came, only God could help you. If you speak to my colleagues, they all have similar stories about being placed on intense teams during their core clerkships and specialty rotations. For some of us, myself included, we somehow always ended up on the most rigorous teams in every single rotation. Before we knew it, third year had come to an end. We were finishing up our final rotation, pathology and microbiology, before returning home to our colleagues who had started their journeys at St. Augustine and Cave Hill. Ethics was our first rotation as a combined group. It was during this time that we truly began to know one another and forge the friendships and bonds that we have today. Dr. Frankson was the head of ethics at the time, and by the end of the rotation, you were proficient in the ethical principles as well as Exodus chapter 5. It was also during this time that one of our classmates earned her nickname, Prophetess. I'll leave it to figure out who that was. Fourth year flew by, and month after month, we wrapped up rotation after rotation. When I think back on fourth year, I remember those long nights on labor ward during obstetrics and gynecology, waiting to catch babies, those early morning ENT clinics with Drs. Johnson and Cargill, where we were lined up and each expected to answer a different question. I remember anesthesia and radiology, where we were drilled on rapid sequence induction, the various anesthetic agents, and how to interpret all kinds of x-rays and CT scans. During our orthopedic rotation, we spent many hours in the casting room, watching and assisting with application of cast, while being asked all manner from fractures to osteomyelitis, bone tumors, avascular necrosis, ATLS, the list goes on and on. Just like that, fifth year was upon us. Now it was real. Granted, it had always been real, but now it was really real. At this point, we were about to become physicians and intern in just over a year. Fifth year marked the beginning of our senior clerkships. Our hands still remember cramping up from writing those case notes for Dr. Chin on senior medicine. Every now and then, we're still haunted by those infamous questions and statements. Where is the lesion? What is Light's criteria? What is the SAG? Differentiate between upper and lower motor neuron lesion. Discuss diabetic emergencies. Interpret this ECG and APG. And that was just a small fraction of what we were asked in medicine. Senior surgery was a whole other ballgame. Brittany said it best. Ain't nothing was funny. Our group was once again split into teams, and we each had our unique yet similar experiences on each one. If you were on Team A, you knew that there was no such thing as 20 questions. It was more like 40 questions each time we had ward rounds. Though challenging, by the time we left, we were proficient in dressing changes, vascular diseases, and other general surgery topics. I can still hear Dr. Lucas's voice in my head asking, what is the Wi-Fi? Classify this also. What are the treatment options for arterial and venous disease? What is the best medical therapy? I'm sure all of those who followed me on the team after had similar experiences. We always enjoyed Dr. Ramphal's surgery classes, where he gauged our understanding of a topic and broke it down into easily digestible bits. He often encouraged us to focus on understanding the material rather than just studying for a test. He also told us that if we understood the concepts deeply, we would be able to answer any question, no matter how it was phrased. I could not talk about senior surgery without mentioning Dr. Srikant's classes on Wednesday and Friday afternoons. Those classes were not for the faint of heart. Dr. Srikant had a special way of pushing us to be better. It didn't always feel that way at the time, but in retrospect, we understood his method. Honestly, after those classes, the topics we thought we knew, we had to revise again, because he was always able to find that one weak spot that needed to be strengthened, and we appreciated that. It would be remiss of me not to mention Dr. Barnett, who was faithful in coming to class every Saturday morning. During those sessions, he would go through the orthopedic syllabus, as well as general surgery topics multiple times. He would always say to us, make sure everything is clear in your mind. If you are not clear on something, now is the time to clear it up. And we couldn't get away with saying, oh, we haven't seen that before, especially if Dr. Barnett had taught it, because he knew his slides inside out and remembered everything he said and who he said it to. Those classes helped us tremendously. 5th year wrapped up with obstetrics and gynecology and family medicine. And finally, the time for final MBBS was upon us. Rhea said it best in a common but short catchphrase, man, y'all is serious. Those 6 weeks leading up to the exams were intense, to say the least. We experienced countless sleepless nights. Non-coffee drinkers became coffee drinkers. We spent days and evenings at the lounge and library, studying, practicing with one another, presenting our findings, and examining patients on the ward. In not so many words, pressure was tall. During that time, our family members and friends became our at-home simulated patients. I know I practiced on my sister Charisma a lot. She never failed to remind me to sanitize my hands, or she'd intentionally position herself incorrectly to force me to correct her. She even served as an actor during my practice obstetrics and gynecology counseling stations and psychiatry stations. By the end of my preparation, she probably knew hard murmurs, Light's criteria, and ascites just as well as I did. I couldn't mention final MBBS prep without acknowledging Dr. Parker Curling's MCQ sessions, where we were giving test-taking strategies and tips. We went through numerous practice questions, which helped solidify our understanding of the topics and equipped us with the tools we needed to be effective test takers. Dr. McPhee's session on Wednesday afternoon helped us to put things into perspective and navigate answering questions without being thrown off by the wording or how the question was presented. We always appreciate the subtle ways he would hint at the answer during class. The only catch was you had to know something in order to catch the hint. I remember a time on ward rounds when Brian, Celesta, and I were with Dr. McPhee. We came across a patient with an intercutaneous fistula. Dr. McPhee asked, what factors contribute to the development and maintenance of a fistula? We pondered the question for a moment. Then he looked at me and asked, want to phone a friend? Immediately, the factors came to my mind as I remembered the mnemonic friends of fistulas. That's just one example of the many ways he was able to jog our memory using subtle clues. Lastly, but certainly not least, I have to mention our sessions with Dr. Griffith-Bowe and Dr. Srikant. During our sessions with Dr. Griffith-Bowe, she would often remind us to write out a script for each counseling scenario and practice them over and over again in our minds and with each other until they stuck. During these sessions, we were often given different history and counseling scenarios, and you could always tell how well you did based on Dr. Griffith Bowe's facial expression at the end of your 7 minutes. Finally, Dr. Srikant's MBBS preparation sessions. In these sessions, it was our responsibility to come up with the questions and topics we wanted to discuss and be prepared to answer any question he had for us. Those sessions truly built character. You may have gotten cooked for those 2 hours, but at the end of these sessions, it forced you to re-examine your understanding of the topic. He often stressed that we should not think in silos, as medicine is not learned in silos. Everything is connected, so we should think that way. I could not end my speech without mentioning our class dynamic. I can truly say that the class of 2025 has some of the funniest people I have ever met. With this group, there was never a dull moment. From the coconut drop car, to the green goblin, the parachute pants, the muffin hat, the new bust down, and the wannabe treaty, there was always laughter. But our relationship extended beyond fun and games. We encouraged each other during times when we felt inadequate or as if the world was caving in. We supported and lifted each other up through our darkest times. And we were there for each other during our final lap in completing the MBBS examination. To my study group, the Avengers, thank you for bearing with me. I know I was constantly quizzing myself and you guys, constantly reciting various higher yield topics, constantly asking what time we were meeting to go over these stations, constantly sending questions for y'all to answer, and constantly pushing for us to be great. And if I do say so myself, that paid off. I would like to give special thanks to our class president, Kesha Ihano, who worked tirelessly on our behalf. She always made our concerns known to the faculty, coordinated numerous activities, and was just an overall great representative. Lastly, but certainly not least, we would like to extend our immense and deepest gratitude, firstly to God for bringing us to this point in our budding careers. Without Him, we would not have made it this far. To our parents, words cannot express how thankful we are to have you and how much we appreciate all of the support and sacrifices you have made to bring us to this point. The road was not easy, but you were always there to be our safety net and safe space. You provided a shoulder to cry on when we failed the course, thought we failed the course but didn't, or when our marks were not what we expected, despite the amount of effort we put in. We know we may have been frosty and tense at times, especially during our study period for final MBBS, but you never held it against us. I would like to personally and publicly thank my parents, Clinton and Martha Minnis, whose support of me was unwavering. To our extended family and friends and significant others, thank you for your constant love and encouragement. To our director, Dr. Sinqui Brown, thank you. To our course coordinators and heads of departments, we say thank you. To all our professors, consultants, senior registrars, senior house officers, interns, nurses, and support staff who taught us and helped us along the way, thank you. To the staff and administration of the University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine and Research campus, who made sure everything ran smoothly and always had our best interests at heart, thank you. To the staff of the Princess Margaret Hospital, thank you. To the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, who afforded us the opportunity to learn from them and hone our clinical skills on our journey to becoming great physicians, thank you. And to the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, we say thank you for your support over these 5 years. Finally, class of 2025, I want you to thank yourselves. Thank yourselves for showing up, for choosing this great profession, and for persevering despite personal and financial challenges, as well as the loss of loved ones we hold near and dear to our hearts. Your hard work has paid off, and you should be incredibly proud. As this chapter comes to a close, another one opens. The sky is the limit. I charge you to remain compassionate, caring, understanding, and always offering a listening ear when administering care to your patients. I'll end with this scripture that has carried me through every milestone in my life and will continue to guide me throughout my career. Jeremiah 29, verse 11. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. On behalf of myself, Rolo, Flower Girl, aka Prophetess, Bus Driver, Quincy, Angela Renee White, Princess Diana, aka Ryderia, Hulk, Ambassador, aka Lady Cache, Rambunctious, Gabby, Wei, Shani, Danny, Shay, and all the members of the graduating class of 2025. Once again, thank you and God bless you.
Let's give her a hand again for that note. All right, so as we draw near to the close of this evening's inspiring and memorable ceremony, we pause to express our collective gratitude to all who have made this occasion possible. Dr. Loxley Marno sends his regards for him not attending this afternoon. He was caught up in an emergency, so please accept his apologies. So it is now my pleasure, as we come to an end, to welcome one of our emerging leaders in our academic community to deliver the vote of thanks. She's a lecturer in the Family Medicine program, the postgraduate coordinator and director for family medicine, and will now be the incoming director of the University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine and Research. So please join me in extending a heartfelt congratulations as we welcome Dr. Sabrika Pinda-Butler to offer the vote of thanks. Just a quick note, once Dr. Pinda-Butler is complete, we need to take official photographs. So family, I know you're excited, so please just allow us to complete our pictures whilst the band plays, and after which, the floor is all yours. So handing it over to Dr. Butler.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saunders, and a good evening to all. Protocol having already been established, I firstly want to say congratulations again to this fine class of 2025. Stand up for me one more time, class. You may be seated. You may be seated. The psalmist reminds us in Psalms 100, let us enter his gates with thanksgiving in our hearts and enter his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his name, for the Lord is good. The Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations. I feel the excitement in the room. I feel the excitement in the room. And truly, I am honored to be here this evening to give the vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. Firstly, I wish to thank the family and friends who are here tonight. When I look at this village that is here tonight,
I certainly want to say thank you to all of you because we know that this journey was not an easy one. We know that the sacrifices that have been made by parents, family members, and extended villages are truly one that has to be honored, and so we thank you. We also thank you, family, for entrusting these fine students to the University of the West Indies. And as you have heard, certainly you have allowed them to attend a truly fine institution, one that is stellar globally, nationally, and regionally. So we thank you again. I also at this time wish to acknowledge, because oftentimes we have said before that we have a small faculty at UWI School of Clinical and Medicine and Research. And it is truly a small faculty. So I would like for all persons who are faculty this evening to stand because we appreciate you. We appreciate all that you do. Kindly stand for us, all faculty that are here. Don't be bashful. You may be seated. We are small in number. We have a very small full-time faculty of quite a little more than a handful of us. And certainly we are happy to have the armamentarium of our other faculty and academic support staff that continue to allow the university and to train our fine graduates today. Now, I would be remiss, I'm looking around the audience because there are about 3 to 5 people that may be here tonight. And I know as I speak, some of you may know of whom I speak, that help to keep the engine at SCMR churning. And certainly from I was a student, Miss Bain, Miss Marsha Bain, where are you? We appreciate Miss Bain, Miss Kelly. Where's Miss Kelly? Tanya Kelly. Where is Miss Deanne Forbes? We have to give people the appreciation that is due, especially when you have a small compliment. I know Miss Kelly is somewhere around here. She's been busy working all day. We appreciate you, Miss Kelly. We appreciate Miss Christie. We have Sarge who helps us out as well. And certainly we also appreciate our staff that assist in the library, Miss Suja, Miss Hamilton, as well as Miss Gibson. All of these people help to make our team produce the excellent product that you see today, and so we are most grateful. I also want to acknowledge the role of the government of the Bahamas. And certainly we are more than delighted to have here our Minister of Health, who always graces us with his presence and continues to give his support to us as we are on this journey, as well as the support of the Public Hospitals Authority, and we're glad that we also have executive management members here with us this evening, as well as the commitment of the Ministry of Education and certainly Minister Glenys Hannah Martin. We are certainly happy to have you here with us today. So we appreciate the collaborative efforts of all of the institutions that continue to allow the UWI SCMR to thrive. As we look at the program for this evening, I also firstly want to thank Dr. Miguel Bowe for invoking the presence of God at this ceremony this evening. We also wish to thank those persons that brought greetings, certainly starting with Dr. Gemma Roll, our president of the Medical Association of the Bahamas. We appreciate you and thank you for welcoming this graduate cohort into the medical fraternity. We also wish to thank those persons that were able, again, to bring remarks, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, as well as the Honorable Michael Darville. And certainly we'd also wish to thank our principal of the University of the West Indies, Mona, Professor Williams, for being here with us today. We are honored to have you with us, as well as our incoming Professor of Medical Sciences, Professor Plummer, and certainly we are happy to have Mr. Archie here with us again this evening. We also wish to thank our own Dr. Devon Curling for such a fine introductory to his wife as she delivered the wonderful keynote address to us this evening. We certainly know that all of us needed sometimes to be reminded to have that compassionate spirit as we serve our patients diligently. So thank you very, very much for that. I also wish to thank Dr. Chin as well as Dr. Varunda, who assisted with the induction of the new doctors. I know that's probably the favorite part of the program. So thank you very, very much for facilitating that for us today. We also wish to thank Dr. Anika Minnis for her outstanding remarks and response on behalf of the class of 2025. Thank you very much. We would like to thank the photographers who are here with us this evening. We know I see him bending on his knee right now, but we really appreciate all that you do. We appreciate the staff at BAHAMAS who has helped us and continue to provide a wonderful time for us when we're here with the induction service. We also want to thank this wonderful Defense Force band. And lastly, but by no means the least, where is my mistress of ceremonies, Dr. Deshawn Saunders? Thank you so much. When I saw you this evening, I said, that was my job. Deshawn has my job. But you know, life is a circle sometimes, because when I looked at the students this evening, I remembered when I sat there 22 years ago. And many of my faculty members now were my teachers. And so truly, I am humbled and honored to even have been given this opportunity to serve as the incoming director. And I will truly commit to doing my best to allow the high standards of excellence of academia to remain throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and the region as we move forward. Have a good evening. Where is Dr. Halliday? I'm sorry. Dr. Halliday is the Superman IT star extraordinaire. Where is Darren? Darren, we love and appreciate you, and Ernie as well, for always being there for us and making sure that we have everything in line. Now, I've also been asked to just ask everyone to remain seated for us until the processional occurs, and then everyone can have the pictures and the like at the end. Thank you so much.
Thank you.